So, hello again. Finally got an update to post. Took way longer than I expected as this season has been a bit slower. A lot of drop rate nerf, item nerfs just made me play for way longer than I hoped for until I cleared with showdown. The initial goal was to just clear it and post a video. Plan to do is under a week maybe, on the first weekend after the launch weekend, I guess, so like 7-8 days, but took way longer due to drop rate changes. That's what it is, but I'm finally done, as you can see. Got 2 stars on the last boss, but I do not care that much about the rewards. It requires more damage farming because Lightning Storm is not very good against the trio. And they drastically lowered the time limit. I think in the Keegan's League it was 666 seconds, now it's just default 420 or whatever, so it is pretty difficult to 3-star it. There's a lot of downtime and we can't hit all 3 bosses at start, which is just awful. Probably need to overcap your damage by like twice the damage cap to get 3 stars. But I don't know if I changed that much regarding the build. I played this play safe version because of Eternity for mapping. It's just extremely powerful this league. The league mechanic spawns a lot of rares that also spawn a lot of small monsters, so you get like 300, 400 stacks just from doing the league mechanic, and then you just obliterate the rest of the map. Extremely, extremely good in deep space. I don't know if I would have farmed deep space without this build, honestly, because it's just so annoying otherwise. Besides that, there was a bit of 3 changes, I guess. First of all, I messed up the Magister because you needed more points for connection. I just ended up taking regain. The big surprise to me was the warlock slow and hit. Because space slows, it reduces the speed by 30%. It doesn't say if it's additive, like is it increased speed or is it just less speed, but it still doesn't sound that big. It's not bad, but it takes 100 hits to hit the cap stacks or whatever, and I thought it'd be like, doesn't matter. But after testing it and like playing with it, it's incredibly powerful. Like it also works on the dragon, as I'll show. You can see it doesn't feel like it's just 30% slow, as the dragon barely moves once you get the stacks. And that seems to work with like every normal monster. Like, look at the animation speed of this guy. It's even more obvious when he does a move. It's disgusting. Like, he's just sitting here like nearly frozen. That seems a bit more than like 40% slow or whatever I should have. So I don't know if it's bugged. Is it intended? I don't know, but I would use it for mapping 100% of the time. Just too strong. You could get it on a slate. That works. I saw people do that. It saves you a bunch of points. I just didn't get the slate and I didn't care enough. You also get blinding, which combined with boot mod would give you like complete critical damage mitigation. Just pretty good, I guess. If you just put the hard points in there. Besides that, the other difference is that I ended up using a lot of resistances on the tree because I did not want to farm like 2000 average FE to upgrade the resistance mods to fit the resistances. It's a bit scout, but it got the job done, but due to economy, it's just miserable to get upgrades like that nowadays. Besides that, for the most part, everything else followed the guide. I guess I should talk about disenchant. Since I couldn't get the second element skill effect and cooldown recovery speed enchant, I just got this one and stuck with it. That meant that my mana was screwed up. So I ended up using corrosion focus. Gives you another reaping agony source, not so bad. But it's more of a settle because of disenchant than anything else. If you don't get disenchant, if you get disenchant, you can still aim to run 3 auras. It's gonna be better, especially if you get like a fancy, expensive support. But for a settle, the corrosion, erosion imbu is fine. Besides that, I couldn't get avoidance because I just couldn't roll the avoidance and then upgrade it. I got support skill levels. That this should be elemental avoidance combined with the slates. I even had the legendary slate ready here to duplicate and get the elemental ailment avoidance. I just didn't get around it. If I continue playing, I might get it, but as it is from my pro builds, snaps, they're not there. But yeah, I mean, You're just spending more money if you get like, you know, farm for 50,000 more monies, you get to drop one cooldown recovery because you would upgrade the others, you would get some more damage, some more swappability. You can get all the good packs, you get a determined fate. You could run all the setups mentioned in the document, I just didn't get there because it's slow and painful. And I don't think I want to anymore, I'll be honest. Didn't particularly enjoy the changes. I guess I could talk a little bit about the Supreme Showdown. The wave 20 is like fairly easy. I spent like 3 days farming to get with survivability. Like everything had like 400k survivability with all the blur up. I can see like 400, 600k. And then once I started doing the boss I realized that like survivability does absolutely nothing. And damage is pretty much like the only thing that you realistically need, so what happened ended up swapping Delayed Pain for Black Hole, if I remember correctly. Combined with the well-fought battle, and I even swapped out Energy Fortress for the main expansion, so I just went full damage. I can quickly show why, hopefully. So the interesting part about the Supreme Showdown boss that was different from the rest is that its moves, there's no move RNG, it's always completely sequenced, completely the same. The only thing that you want to get is you want to get enough damage to skip the triple move phase. If you can do it, which I will show you right now with my damage. Take this! It's gonna do the spin, then it's gonna do the dash. If you phase him at this point, he doesn't do attack, or he would put 3 dot pools. If he does that, the fight becomes like 10 times more difficult, because now you have to arena manage, and that's much harder. But if you skip the pool phase, and this is all you get, it'll be pretty much the same loop throughout the whole fight. There's like some minor differences between the phases. You will just manage the swords in one spot, he does triple sword, then you'll run, wait until the thing starts, run in a circle, dodge, dodge, does the same thing, with your blood, phase, I shall reforge my edge. And that is going to be the whole fight essentially. If you have enough damage to skip the ground phases, this fight is fairly easy. The only thing that matters is the spinner speed RNG and the bomb RNG. Sometimes bomb will just kill you, and there's nothing else you can do. But besides that, you will see he places the swords, the ones who just drag the swords, put the bomb on him, run in a circle, repeat. That is the whole fight. If you do not have enough damage, I'll show you what happens. Let's say you go full tank, get reclusion. Also the thing is, there's nothing else to tank. Realistically, the only attack you're tanking there is the slash, and what they had, like around 200,000 survivability, is good enough. But let's say you go full tank. This does not let you, and let's disable a damage aura. Essentially, so you can't tank any more attacks than I could already tank. All his other attacks just kill you. They're designed to just kill you. My blood. So I'll do way less damage, and now he'll do more moves. Gonna do the same triple slash. He's gonna do raise the hand. He's gonna throw swords 3 times. He's gonna do a slash. Gonna throw swords, and the double attack, boom, boom. But you will see after he does charge after this, he will do this attack to give the circles that leave the ground, that are permanent throughout the whole fight, and to kill you. Which means if you don't have enough damage and this happens, the fight becomes extremely difficult, because he's going to repeat that nearly every phase. Your floor is gonna turn into this lava thing, and you're gonna die, and it's gonna be difficult. So just try to overcap your damage by quite a bit, just draw survivability. Once you skip the phase, it's easy, otherwise very difficult. For my damage, I don't have that many. I have Beacon for T0, and they have cooldown recovery speed for ultimates. The rest are advanced and basic, so they're not that expensive to get. My slates aren't optimal. I did not craft another slate and put the 2 single space legendaries. That would be more damage, of course, more efficient, more mods. Right now I'm using 6 slots for 4 mods. If you get 5 mods plus 2 mods, you get 7 mods. So that's probably like 30% more damage you could get with better slates. All the mod upgrades would like double your damage or some nonsense, because I had like you would reroll into I could reroll into better mods. I just lucked out into penetration in like 1 click and just kept it. But you could like triple the damage of this build fairly reasonably, honestly, or something like that. So there's still a lot of room to grow. It's not the most expensive build. I think in Trade House, you can see somewhere history. I have 100,000 Tiffy in the auction house. I have Eternity, of course. But if you're only going for the boss, you don't want to farm deep space smoothly, you can just grind this like 100,000 or whatever. In Profound, you'll roughly get this build, maybe even cheaper now, because of course I bought much stuff and it was much more expensive. The base for this armor when I bought it was 700. Now I think it's like... was it like 90, 80, 100, or just much cheaper. Of course my slates were cheaper. I don't know, the candles... When I bought this for example, candle was extremely cheap. They're still like not expensive, because this is pretty much a brick mod for every other build. It triggers skill effect duration. But if you're using an activation medium, it works for you, so you can get some really cheap candles. This of course will be more expensive because it's like generic modifiers. I paid around 1,000 for mine, so I guess I got lucky, and now it's far more expensive because people, I'm guessing, start farming it there. And besides nothing else, I can showcase a little map clear, or like maybe I'll post it as a separate video, because that's pretty much the only thing that people really care about. For the most part, the clear is fine. The Eternity is very good because every single buff scales it. But without it, it's alright. For Profound, it will just clear the map in like, I don't know, less than a minute. Unless you do content that's, you know, more time taxing, like mine, or machines or whatever. But it's pretty fast. Like once you get enough damage, like your when one storm can clear white monsters, your clear becomes very fast because storms proliferate. Just try to do a 1 crappy XP map. Yeah. This is one because it doesn't have blur. My sword build is way above 400k. That being said.
Emerging.
I forgot to show, but I could have shown that I'm running I'm running the 30 quality item quantity node on the canvas. So that's like alone is probably good enough proof that I don't die that much. The ability is fine. The problem with the ability is that it's very backloaded. Like at the start, you can run the mage build, but so ability comes once you get to max your block and you get some block ratio. Once you get your poisoned, whatever it is, relief candle. It's all very end game, so the early and the mid game you're squishy as hell. Just not much you can do about that. It's just how the game works now. It's hard to get survivability early. But if you're not planning to do deep space, you also don't need that much survivability. You should probably focus on speed more than survivability. Survivability is pretty much just deep space meme. Same as element immunity. In Profound you can roll the elements, but you can just reroll them for free. In deep space they cost 60 netherrealm shards or whatever. Per reroll becomes very expensive. They're like 110 for a stack now, so you don't want to be rerolling that much. You can see clear's fine. I left some monsters, whatever. Like, you shouldn't wait until monsters die, you should just move on past them. And if something drops, you have to backtrack, it is what it is.
Courageous!
As you see, most of the things will just die behind you.
Labor contract, and you'll be a part of the Oasis.
And wider maps it also like proliferates to the side. Like if you got the grass deep space map, you could see that better, but just blink through. Things die. You don't really take much damage. Pretty much like how every good Torchlight build looks like. The only problem is sometimes you do have to backtrack, which, whatever. Other builds are like much weaker than this build early game, so I guess some backtracking at some points is what you have to pay for it. Also, we are like very good with league mechanics because your things kill the running away monsters and they kill the small monsters because it's a duration skill.
This was also in my plan.
So I don't know if there's that much else to talk. I will probably update the document and fix a few issues there, but not much has changed really. The slow node was very big. Besides that, everything else is roughly the same. I'm also using all the hero memories of CDR now. They're just pretty good, feels good. The more CDR you have, the better the game is going to feel, so why not? Even if it's like slightly suboptimal for damage.
A powerful opponent. Shame that they're a little dumb.
Not really. That's it. I'll quickly maybe touch the hero traits as well. I used the wrong ones for the map. This is what I used for the Supreme Showdown. Generally this would be higher damage. But using this one is good versus very mobile targets like bosses because it kinda keeps up your hero trait working until the next one gets applied. It's not more, at least I think that's how it works. It just retained more damage when I was doing it and lends you like more consistent results, so I liked it. For elite based mapping, this is what I used, and for generic mapping, this is what I used. I don't have any numbers to back it up, it's just what felt the best. You can try it out yourself. This is good for like might, for bossing, stuff like that. And I think that's probably about it. I don't know if there's much else to talk about it. I could talk about the state of the game, but I think there's a lot of feedback already. You should fill in the survey that they sent you. The pets are the same ones that I recommended. The gear is roughly the same. Nothing much changed. Wow, 5 FE boots? 2 FE boots, nice. That's about it, I think. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you can ask. I'll probably answer unless they're like repeated ad nauseum. I don't think there's much else to say, so thanks for watching, playing. Overall, I'd say like this is a good build if you're a bit more of an advanced player, because I saw a lot of like newer players to the game struggle with understanding all the mechanics. Because the reality is there's a lot of like weird stats that you need for this build, like you have to align CTR and burst charge rate, which can also combine with the play save, which makes it kind of weird. You need all the reap stuff, reap cooldown, break points, all that stuff. But once you roughly get AD, once you assemble like the basic setup, this build pumps damage, it cheats the damage essentially. It's also a bit fake of the damage, like for the mapping you should take maybe 10-20% of the value as a real value, but for single target it's just hard to match. So overall, another good Lightning Storm league. Originally I thought that the Gamma would have been just better because of the freezes, but slow makes it competitive, I think. Yoga felt pretty good. I know some people were talking about Thea. I think somebody made a build guide for it. I didn't look into it. It's probably fine.
Buy or
For me
sell.
the only issue of
Help
like
yourself to the catalog.
with playing Thea is that you have to get blessing sources. I don't know, maybe they're not that expensive anymore. Like 4,000. That means you do have to get the sequence yourself, which is very expensive, very random. So, I mean, if you have enough money, it's probably fine. Early game, of course, you can use some random uniques. But it's a bit more expensive. If you don't mind the price, then she's totally fine. Yeah, 4,000 and probably a couple grand at least per enchant. Maybe you get one good enchant, one like mediocre, kind of like what I'm using. It's alright, it's probably like 10,000 more expensive maybe than Yoga then. I imagine the trinket prices are probably just not going to be... Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, you're probably getting it on a weapon. I think there's a sequence enchant that also gives a bunch of blessings. So it's alright. She's more expensive. Still powerful. Maybe more powerful, maybe not. I don't know. I enjoy the versatility Yoga provides with the hero traits. But if you like their, the Blasphemer, then it's all the power to you. It's good. I didn't see anybody play Rosa. I mean, Rosa would be fine. You get a bit tanky once you get damage. My original plan was to reroll into her, but I just can't be bothered. You could play Erica too, but I mean, it's kind of fine because you do have flex mods in here, so you could roll a numb effect here. Then I bet this was like 50 or 60% numbed effect. You'll run faster. Because now we're just into blinking, and especially without Eternity, the blink cooldown is long, so maybe Erica 2 is pretty good. But I enjoyed the versatility Yoga provided, I'll be honest. Depending on the farm strat, you just quickly swap this around and your character always just feels very good. No complaints from my side. Just Yoga was great. I don't know if he's better than Hit. I said can also cheese the damage. For example, if you play Gamma 1 for a lot of the conversion stacking stuff, it's alright. Gamma 2 of course cheeses the defenses early, damage is still pretty good, you get a double burst helm. There's an issue with the burst helm though.
Buy or sell.
Because at the start, like,
yourself to the
I think you should just use that in general. I think I wrote it in my document, like this is a good starting helm because it's so cheap compared to price, just buy it. It's like 80% more damage, it's great. But this is actually a bit dangerous. I think I got to like 16 spell burst stacks, and without Eternity my game would just start minute disconnecting and like lagging. During the outlaw mechanic, if you play Hit and you stack enough spell bursts and you equip Eternity, your game might just disconnect all the time. I didn't try it myself, I don't know if anybody else ran into those issues, but this is a concern probably if you're planning to play Hit. Yeah, that's it. GG's. I think quite a few people ended up playing it on NA as well. I don't know what other people. This is Mind Control. This is Lightning Storm. So there's quite a few other people you can check out. I think at some point, like majority of like Yoga's North American ladder was just Lightning Storm as well. There's another. Wait, that's. Huh? I don't know how this works. I don't know. Maybe? I'm sure they know what they're doing. But yeah, this is a solid build. You'll see a lot of them in ladder. You can follow them. You can follow my build codes. You go to pro builds. You can find it under Arto, I think. Mapping snapshot. SS snapshot. This was my like day 1, day 2 snapshot, whatever. I think day 2. Yeah, there's other snapshots. There's ladders. There's plenty of resources at this point. I just was very late because of how slow my progression ended up being after like initial couple days. Yeah, but that's my bad. I just didn't have anything useful to say, honestly, because I mostly just followed the document. I didn't invent anything new. The biggest change was honestly the slow node. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. Maybe I'll upload something else. If you subscribe or whatever, you can find out. But I think I'm mostly done. Anyhow, bye.